Huh?
May I come in, sir?
Please have a seat
Thank you, sir.
and unbutton your
Yes, sir.
jacket.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Krishna Pal Rajput,
Yes, sir.
date of birth 16th June 1999,
Yes, sir.
which means that next month you will be 25,
23, sir. 3.
23,
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
sorry,
Yes, sir.
23.
Yes,
And your optional is public administration.
yes, sir.
आपको बोलने में कोई मुश्किल होती है?
Sir, my voice is not clear sometimes, but my voice is not clear, exact, but
But आपका मीडियम हिंदी है इंग्लिश?
English, sir.
You belong to Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
What is your father doing?
So, he is an advocate, sir. Advocate.
He is an advocate.
Yes, sir. Lawyer, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. And your mother is in the government service?
Anand, yes, sir. Anandwadi Sahika.
Anandwadi.
Yes, sir.
You did your BA in 2019,
Yes, sir.
foundational course English Literature, History, Sociology project,
Yes, sir.
Government MLB Arts and Commerce College, Gwalior.
Yes, sir.
Tell us something about Gwalior.
Yes, sir. Sir, Gwalior as a state was established by Ranoji Scindia in 18th century. It was part of, before the reorganization of Madhya Pradesh, it was part of Vindhya Pradesh. And sir, it has been a capital of Scindia state. And yes, sir.
Krishna Pal,
Yes, sir.
how would you compare Vijay Raje Scindia with Vasundhara Raje Scindia, the two of them?
Sorry, sir, I don't have adequate knowledge. about
Okay,
them.
okay, no problem, no problem. You did your BA
Yes, sir.
with English literature.
Yes, sir.
What did you study in English literature?
Sir, the syllabus was defined in according, so there were poetries, drama, fiction, of some most famous aspects of these, all the types of literature were there in syllabus. So these all I have to study.
Which plays did you read?
Yes, sir. Sir, there were two plays of William Shakespeare. First one was Macbeth, and the second one was The Merchant of Venice. And sir, there another play was Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities.
वो तो novel है, Tale of Two Cities.
Okay, sir. Sir, but it was in sir, fifth semester, and then fictional.
In the fiction.
Yes, sir.
What has been the treatment of Shakespeare of the Jews as emerging in The Merchant of Venice?
Yes, sir. Sir, the antagonist of The Merchant of Venice is a Jew whose name is Shylock, and he has been portrayed as a cunning man, as a miserly man who tried to revenge with Antonio, who is the protagonist of the play. So,
What role does Portia play in the play?
Sir,
Portia, Portia.
yes, sir. Sir, she is a wife of
Antonio.
Antonio's friend, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
What role does she play?
Sir, she helps Antonio to recover from the clutches of Shylock, because she with her wisdom, and says, because the term of condition was that if
Which poets did you read?
yes, sir. Sir, first of William Shakespeare again as a poet was there, and then sir John Milton was there. Sir, William Collins was there, sir, and sir William Butler Yeats was also there, sir.
Yeats.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is a sonnet?
Yes, sir. Sir, sonnet is a couplet of 40 lines, is a poem of 40 lines written in a systematic manner, sir.
In which manner is it written?
Sorry, sir, I don't have.
Three quatrains
Yes, sir.
and then a final couplet.
Okay, sir.
Can you recite some Miltonic sonnet? Sonnet written by Milton?
Sorry, sir, I can't recall the lines of Milton, sir.
He has written
Yes, sir.
a famous sonnet on his blindness.
Yes, sir.
Can you quote from the sonnet?
Sir, exactly lines I can't recall, sir, but I remember the summary of that poem, what he was trying to convey.
It is said that Milton slept with the Bible on his chest.
Okay.
What does it mean?
Sir, I'm not sure, sir, but I can guess that in that poem on his blindness, first he is very.
No. Forget about it.
Okay, sir.
In Julius Caesar,
Yes, sir.
Shakespeare says, when Cassius is addressing Brutus, the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, that in us, that we are underlings. What exactly is Shakespeare trying to convey?
Sorry, sir, again, sir, I have not read Julius and Caesar. It was not sir in syllabus.
Fine. वो ठीक है, नहीं आपने नहीं पढ़ा.
Yes, sir.
Mahatma Gandhi said famously that I can't think of politics without a religion.
Yes, sir.
What did he mean by that?
Yes, sir. Sir, he was trying to, his message was to uphold the sir morality in politics with the that is sir Rajdharma, it is called in sir Indian ancient history and Indian philosophy. So that politics should be filled with the morals and principles which comes from
With
every
ethics.
with ethics, which comes
With
from
ethics.
every religion. Yes, sir.
What is the current problem in Sri Lanka?
Yes, sir. So Sri Lanka is going through a twofold problem. One is political. One most important is economic problem. Second is political. So economically, they have a very low balance of payment, forex reserve. So they have not been able to purchase the essential items like fuel and food grains also. Second, sir, political.
Fine. आप पूछें.
Thank you, sir. Krishna,
Yes, sir.
one of the expert of the public administrator,
Yes, sir.
he said it power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Looking at the India's political situations,
Yes, sir.
do you find that this dictum applies?
Sir, there have been certain instances where the politicians have been found in corruption, indulged in corruption. But sir, at a large, sir, the politicians have also the characters behind the large scale reforms going in our country. So they have been able.
Fine, Krishna. Does this apply to an IAS officer? Because recently, one of the IAS officer, retired IAS officer, has come out with an article and ideas that IAS has failed the nations. Recently, senior IAS officer was caught in corrupt practices in Jharkhand.
Yes, sir.
So there are certain turning points in IAS journey where there is absolute power.
Yes, sir.
And there is an opportunity and chances of being. So do you think that is, and how to come out?
Sir, I think, sir, this power means, sir, it depends upon individual personality, sir.
Okay.
As sir, I will like to quote a quote from very famous franchise Spider-Man, where it is said, "With great powers comes great responsibility." So it is up to a certain individual that with power what he wants to do. With power, a man can think of a responsibility that is coming with power, that is he has to uphold the democratic and ethical values. And while other individual, as the one caught recently in Jharkhand, one can go with corruption and all, sir. So it is more about, sir, personality of character.
Fine, Krishna. There is always rise and fall of great powers.
Yes,
If you see from the history till today,
Yes, sir.
one power comes and then another crumbles.
Yes, sir.
19th century was the British century. 20th century till today is American century. Now this 21st century is generally believed that it is going to be the Chinese century.
Yes, sir.
So if China becomes a supreme, what kind of threats India will have?
Sir,
Will
India,
it be the same world order as it is going on, or will it be different for India?
Sir, it will be certainly very different for India, because with China we have certain friction point. First on, sir, land border issue. China consider very large portions of Indian territory as their own under their finger and palm strategy. So with the emergence of China as a global superpower will be a very significant challenge for our strategic autonomy. Sir, much of our defense capabilities will have to be enhanced, amplified. And sir, that
My last question, Krishnan, can you think of that India will become number one, maybe 30 years, 40 years, 50 years down the line? India will become number one?
Certainly, sir, we have the opportunity and we have the potential to become number one. We are having large demographic dividend which can prosper our, sir, if we can enhance our manufacturing industry and our agricultural productivity can cope up with the upcoming climate challenges and the product.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
आप पूछें.
Krishna, recently there was a report of UNCCD, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification.
Yes,
What are learning for India in that report?
Sir, India, around 29% of geographical land of India has been going through degradation. So the degradation cause problems for India because, sir, our very much economy population depends upon the agriculture. When there is land degradation, it is a challenge for our economy and our agricultural food security also.
So what is impact of the droughts on Indian economy?
Sir, okay. Sir, the first, sir, the most around more than 50% of Indian population depends upon agriculture, and it is already a very low remunerative sector. So when there are droughts happening very frequently, the people will always stuck in that vicious cycle of poverty. Secondly, the inflation will rise, that will disrupt our macroeconomic policies, and the rates in the economy will have to be lowered to have to hide, and the investment will not be there, sir. So it is very large scale impact on Indian economy.
What are the development requirement of Gwalior region?
Yes, sir. Sir, Gwalior region has been seen the low industrial productivity. The JK tire industry is there, which is seeing low manufacturing output. And sir, Gwalior is famous for ceramic industry and local toy factories also, but they are not getting enough promotion. So second, sir, the local logistics and infrastructure are not up to the mark in Gwalior city. There are problems of, sir, pollution according to, sir.
Let us talk about rural area of Gwalior region.
Yes, sir.
How it can be developed?
Sir, rural areas of Gwalior form the regions around, sir, Dabra and Satholi area, sir. So they can be developed by, sir, promoting the food processing industries in Gwalior.
There are a lot of ravens in near Chambal River, Murena,
Yes, sir.
and those areas.
Yes, sir.
What is your take on that? Once upon a time, there were the shelters for the decades.
Yes, sir. Sir, once upon a time, sir, the region was shelter for dacoits, but largely it has been a peaceful area now. So, but there the land is still not conducive for the agricultural practices. So they need to take, sir, integrated land management so that the land can be used productively for the, sir, the irrigation facilities can be provided there.
What are the success story of Madhya Pradesh as a state?
Yes, sir. Sir, Madhya Pradesh earlier was termed as one of the Bimaru states because of low human development indices across sectors. But recently, sir, the Madhya Pradesh.
Fine.
Krishna, your mother is working in Anganwadi
Yes, sir.
worker. They played very good role during this COVID-19 management,
Yes, sir.
COVID-19 problem. So, what type of role they played and what type of capacity building needs to be done to enhance their capacity?
Yes, sir. So talking about COVID rules, sir, the Anganwadi centers were done, but the malnutrition problem is still prevalent in the areas. So they were assigned the duty from every Tuesday in a week. My mother is a helper and there is a Karyakarta also in Anganwadi, both of them. They were assigned the duty to go door to door and provide the packaged food, which was in the form of, sir, gehu, soya, barfi mix, halwa mix and khichdi mix, pre-mix. So they have the first their responsibility was to distribute the packaged food. Second, they also acted as the frontline workers. When the vaccination was started, they were given the primary responsibility to educate people about the vaccine need of the vaccination, and they also signed the duty to provide the vaccination.
What type of capacity building needs to be done? Where are the
Sir,
gaps?
Sir, the nutrition is a very complex problem and a complex phenomenon. Each child or, sir, mother can have different requirement of the nutrition they require. So there is need for capacity building that they can understand the particular
Can
need
I,
of particular.
with your permission,
Sure.
put a question
Sure.
and you will address him.
Yes, sir. Okay.
If you are selected to the IAS
Yes, sir.
and you become the state secretary for women and child development,
Yes, sir.
how would you tackle that problem? Please address him.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is need for, like, as I know about my mother, sir, and our Anganwadi center, my village, the training, the guidelines are that in every 2 years, Karyakarta should be trained for 1 month and my mother is helper, Sahika, should be trained for 15 days. But the training does not go regularly. So first they need to create a robust training system.
Very good.
Okay, so that their capacity can be built. Secondly, the trainees who are there, they also need to be assessed that are they equipped well to, because, sir, the mostly women are from village area and they are not very much literate. Most of them are, sir, 12th and graduation just. So that the system of imparting knowledge should be, sir, made. Secondly, sir, other areas of sir, rural areas such as, sir, women domestic violence cases are there also, sir. So on these aspects also training need to be emphasized.
Okay, very good. Then you mentioned about cleanliness drive also, no?
Yes, sir.
That you participated
Yes,
in.
sir.
This Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, are you satisfied with the achievement?
Yes, sir. I am satisfied, sir. There has been, sir, most important factor for me I have seen is the behavioral change in people, sir. We are seeing everyone today is about conscious that we should not throw the garbage on the roads, and everyone is searching for the dustbin to. So
What difference you see in Delhi, particularly Rajendranagar area,
Yes, sir.
and your Gwalior,
Sir, that
in
conscious.
context of cleanliness
Yes, sir.
and people behavior?
So behavior has been, sir, developed sir, I think all over the India in the same manner. People are conscious about
The difference, do you find some difference in Gwalior people and here people behavior regarding cleanliness?
So behavior wise, sir, there is no difference, sir. Infrastructure wise, there are some differences. The area of Gwalior, sir, is still the waste collection and waste processing facility are still not that much developed.
Fine.
Right.
Good. Now, talking of Anganwadi,
Yes, sir.
in the budget there is a provision. Are you aware of it?
Sorry, regarding, sir, what?
Special mention and provision for training, and also the amount has been increased. Have a look at it. Okay. Now, are you comfortable? What is FRBM?
So it is a fiscal responsibility and budget management.
Very good. So that's what's indicated there. There's a roadmap for deficits, no?
Yes, sir.
So what is the extent of deficit in current budget?
And sir, for 2022 to 23 financial year, we have projected a budget estimate 6.4% of GDP, sir.
And as per FRBM, what it should have been?
Sir, according to allocation committee, it should have been 2.5% by 23. But sir, that's not possible because of pandemic. So the 15th Finance Commission raised it.
So we are quite far from that,
Yes,
no?
sir, we are.
But tell me, is deficit per se a bad thing?
Sir, it is not a bad thing. Our economy is robust, and the manufacturing sector, services sector are robust, and they are producing the goods at a very efficient rate. So until and sir, till the rate, sir, we are able to finance our debts. It is not a very bad thing to have, sir, fiscal deficit.
Okay, what is the current level of inflation in the country?
According to sir, recent
Today's
reports, sir,
paper,
in April 2022, it is 7.8%.
So which is pretty high, no? They
Yes,
say
sir.
highest in the last 8 years.
Yes, sir, it is high.
So you think it's a cause for concern?
So certainly it is a cause for concern, sir. RBI has also taken notice of it. They have raised the currency reserve ratio and the repo rate to 50 basis point and 40 basis point respectively. So it
That
is
will only affect the demand side of it, no?
Yes, sir.
What
Sir-
happens to the supply side?
So this is the reason that the economics analysts are pointing out that these rates increase will impact only demand side, while the reasons have been primarily the supply side factor. So, sir, government is having sir Atmanirbhar Bharat and fiscal stimulus package to solve the demand supply side reforms.
You have opted for foreign service also.
Okay.
Ah, very good. Prime Minister visiting some country in the near future?
Yes, sir.
Where?
Sir, recently he visited a European country.
No, no. Today or tomorrow he is going somewhere,
Okay.
neighboring country.
On 16th May, he will go to Nepal.
Nepal. Very good. For what?
Sir, I'm not sure of the exact.
You are not sure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.